Hello, welcome to yet another episode. We are here for another week in a row. I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway, the big old giveaway of Demon Throttle next week. So all you need to do to enter is like and subscribe. That's it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Nice and easy. And then I will send this to you wherever you are in the world, unless it's like North Korea, because I don't think it would get it. But yeah. This week, what are we doing? I know we've done 2 collection videos kind of in a short span of time. This being the second one. But I kind of wanted to just talk about all of my PS4 games. So we are going to be here a while, for they are many. For they are legion. Oh boy, they are legion. They are really legion. So, I'll just kind of knock out 5 to begin with. Wolfenstein. I'm a big fan of Wolfenstein: The New Order. I first played this on the original on the 360 version back in the day. Don't play it that way. It's the worst way to play it. But limited edition was pretty cool. Wolfenstein though. Yeah, what a return to form. Unfortunately, Machine Games are now working on that Indiana Jones thing that's coming out later this year, and they're not working on a new Wolfenstein, which is fine. Definitely what I want. Thank you, Microsoft. That's great. But yeah, I played a fair amount of that in 2014, followed up by Old Blood. Then I kind of picked up the last 3 they did. They kind of pulled in Overlord, where they released 2. It's fine. I don't like it as much as 1. And I think that's kind of unfortunate for the whole sort of fat stack of games I've got here. But it happens. Youngblood is terrible. It's bad. It's fundamentally broken in its design and just overall a miserable experience. Kind of the same of Cyberpilot. I haven't played a lot of this. It's not great, to be honest with you. Neither of them are great. If the franchise was going to die again, I kind of wish it hadn't been with 2 really crap games. But yeah, in general, solid apart from the last 2. Yeah. Skyrim! It's Skyrim. I don't really play Skyrim anymore. I've kind of played it too much. It's just, you know, it's a very, very, very long RPG, and quite frankly, I've lost my love for it. I just have. Especially with Bethesda falling off a cliff like they have. Yeah, just not worth playing. Straw Humans. Yeah, fine. I like the originals. I've got all of them, actually. I've got Straw Humans 1, 2, and Path of the Furon. I've got Big Willy Unleashed. Yes, I know. And Wish Your Big Lily. And I picked up the remake, and I picked up the second remake that THQ Nordic have done. They're really solid. If you're going to play, if you're going to play those games, play it like this. I'm hoping they remake the third one. I think it would actually be a very solid game to play. But, yeah. Another shooter, Doom. I don't like Doom. I don't. Here we are again. Controversial hot takes. I don't like Doom that much. It's okay, but it's not... This is not my go-to. I had Eternal, but that's gone. Just because I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was really bad. Sorry. You can shoot me later. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yeah. If you like shooters, play Doom. If you don't play Doom. Trevor Saves the Universe. Yeah, Justin Roiland and all of the stuff to do with Justin Roiland that's highly controversial because of some stuff he allegedly did. He may not have done, but he may also have done. I don't know. I wasn't there. I haven't really been keeping up with it. But what do I think of Trevor Saves the Universe? Weird. It's kind of that Rick and Morty sense of humour. It's fun. It's a game I've beaten... maybe twice, actually, which is weird because it's not a very long game, but it's all right. It's an okay game. Insurgency Sandstorm. I don't know why I own this. I don't. It was cheap, and I was like, it's got multiplayer bots. That's a rarity nowadays. So, kind of wanted to buy it. I did a video like ages ago that didn't do super well, because it was me just talking about how much I enjoyed playing multiplayer with bots, which I do. I'm not particularly obsessed with playing against people online. I often find it's quite annoying, but sometimes I just kind of want the experience of playing against someone. So that's how I do it. I play with bots. If you know the meme, we have X at home, Everreach is we have Mass Effect at home. It's like they tried to make Mass Effect on a budget the equivalent of buying a ham sandwich. And yeah, it's crap. It's crap. It's really, really crap. It plays terribly. Its story is garbage. It's just, yeah, no. I wanted to play it because, you know what, I'm on a Mass Effect drought. There is no Mass Effect at the moment, and that sucks. But here we are. If I want to play Mass Effect, I will just play Mass Effect. Even Andromeda. I like Andromeda. Get off my ass. I like 3. Yeah, I know. Controversial takes. But, yeah. Mass Effect. If you're going to play it, don't play Everreach. Bad game. Bad game. Bad game. Not good. Tearaway. Yeah, I saw Tearaway on the Vita, and then I proceeded to buy it on the Vita, because, you know what, as much, well, as cheap as this version was in comparison, it strikes me that the best way to play this is with the Vita, the PlayStation Vita. It's really the best way to play Tearaway. This adds a lot. It's playable, it certainly is, and it's good. But it's not my go-to way to play this. God of War. Yeah. Here's the kicker with God of War. I watched Super Best Friends play through the entire thing about 8 years ago when it released. And you want the God's honest truth? It's not a game I found I could play. Much like its sequel, I don't really care for it. They're fine. They're great. They've got really good, strong emotional storytelling. The gameplay is shit. The gameplay is shit. I really don't like it. And I think a big part of it is just kind of Kratos feels really flimsy. The throwing the axe is cool. And, you know, the spear's okay. But they're very long games, and the gameplay just, to be perfectly honest with you, I played through maybe half of Ragnarok last year, and I've played maybe a third of this. The gameplay can't carry a game that long. It just can't. There's not enough variety in the moveset. It's just very standard. And I know that's horribly controversial, but when you've played stuff like Bayonetta, I mean, don't fuck with a witch for a reason. Her skill set is highly customizable. It's all about the combat. And it still manages to have, at least in the case of the first two, and debatably Origins, compelling stories. Not so for God of War 1. I don't know. It's fine. God of War 1. God of War 4. It's okay. Christopher Judge as Kratos does a really good job. The kid who plays... Well, now the guy plays Atreus, really solid, genuinely very, very talented actors, very talented developers. Not my cup of tea. Just wasn't. In comparison to, say, Saints Row 4, which is. Yeah, I liked Saints Row 4 a lot. The giant gaping problem with this particular collection is A, Gat Out of Hell, which was the sort of last decent game that Volition did before they exploded. We'll get to the other one. Isn't on the disc, so firstly, fuck you. Secondly, the game keeps crashing every time I get to like a specific section that plays What Is Love. And yeah, that's not great. So, not fine. That other game they made that wasn't the Saints Row reboot, Agents of Mayhem. Yeah, it's a thing that exists. If they'd labelled it Saints Row 5, I don't think I'd have probably bought it. But Agents of Mayhem, I quite literally found. I found it. Found it on the floor outside of a CX. Someone just dumped it because they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it because the game is just that crap. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of games releasing around that time that were crap, like Battlefront 1 by DICE. Battlefront 2 was only a little bit better by having a slightly better story. But, yeah, I mean, Agents of Mayhem I've played it once. I've played it once, and it was just merely okay. I may go back and play it again. I'm not entirely sure. To be fair, I've got other games to play, like Star Wars Squadrons. PSVR compatible. Very nice. I don't have a PSVR currently, so that's not particularly helpful. But I've been told this is very solid on a friend of mine's recommendation. So if it's not, I'm going to kill you. But no, I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, I've played other things, friends' recommendations, for example, Evolve. It's fine. Again, it's a case of playing as the monster is considerably more entertaining than playing as the people hunting it down. And that's not great when it's an asymmetrical multiplayer experience. Playing as the monster is just simply more entertaining. So, we can do. Mother Gunship. Yeah. It's, crap. It's crap. I don't know why I keep it, to be perfectly honest. Much like a lot of my different collections that I kind of develop as they're coming out, like the 360, like the Switch, like the Wii U. There was a lot of tailoring. Well, maybe not the Wii U, actually. But there were a lot of games that I was like, this is terrible. Like, I'll buy a new console, I'll try a bunch of stuff out for it, I'll go, God, these are shit. And then I'll get rid of them. This has survived all of the purges of this collection, and I'm not entirely sure how it's done it. Madness. Ooh, we'll get to that one. So I have a few weird games. Weird games. I have weird games. I have weird games. What a shocking announcement. And a big part of those are just games that I've picked up, had bought for me. Rumbo. You play as a death Roomba. I mean, what's not to love? It even comes with a giant sodding instruction manual, and I swear to goodness, I don't think they've actually released Justice Sucks Recharged yet. Or they have, and I haven't found it. If it's physical, gonna need. But Rumbo is a prequel to that game, sort of. It's really only an hour long. My wife got it for me. I have actually played it, despite what you may believe. I have actually played it. It's really good. It's really good. I'm just very bad at it. So we'll pop that there on the weird table. So, one of my favourite game developers is Ace Team. They're a Chilean-based developer who've been around for about 18 years now, maybe 20. And they've made some really weird shit. They've made Rock of Ages. They made the Xenoclash games. That's what I mostly know them from. And what I quite frankly go back to, I did have Artifacts of Chaos, which is the third game in the franchise, and it was crap. It's a fucking Souls-like, and I hate that genre with a burning passion. The big thing that really lured me in about the Xenoclash games was the fact that they are, they're fun. They're fun. They're weird. And that game wasn't. It was just aggravating and I hated it and I got rid of it. In a similar vein, the Eternal Cylinder. Fascinating concept. This giant cylinder that just rolls over planets, destroys them and absorbs them, including us, apparently. And you play as these weird little elephant buggers who go around and just kind of have to survive. Not obvious. Yeah, very weird, very strange, very surreal. I like its I like its visuals more than I like the gameplay. That's kind of a running trend with Ace Team games, unfortunately. I like how they look, not how they play. Rock of Ages, though. Rock of Ages 3. Yeah, it's the third game. Nothing has quite topped 1, to be honest, for me. I think it's because it was more novel. It's more of a novel concept than, oh yeah, it's skee ball, and you play as the rock rolled up the hill by Sisyphus, if you know Greek mythology, and you can build some levels. Cool, great. 1 to 2 players locally. Personally, I've been debating on picking it up on the Switch, because I'd probably play it more. But, yeah. I'm probably just going to rattle off these next ones, because they're not games I've played too much. Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. Not as good as Human Revolution. Still fine, but it feels like half of a game. Not great. Batman Arkham Knight. I hate this game. With a passion. Twofold. The Batmobile is crap. It is god-awful. It is just genuinely one of the worst fucking things I have ever experienced in terms of driving. It is god-awful, and I wish they hadn't put it in. I really do. There's also the fact that just on a story level, it's fine. But to be perfectly honest with you, Mark Hamill's Joker poking up every 5 seconds when I'm just irritated with the driving controls. Not fair. Fuck off, Mark. Go be in something better. Yeah. Which is a pity. But here we are. Pong Quest. Yes. Limited Run released Pong Quest physically. It's a Pong RPG. How could I not own Pong Quest? So yeah. Baffles me this isn't on the Atari VCS. Very strange. In comparison, Combinera is. Yeah, another limited run release. I haven't actually played this one yet. So I don't know too much about it. But yeah, it looked good. It was the first major sort of game Atari had released under their current moniker ever, outside of Tempest 4000. Yeah, I prefer 2000, quite frankly. Back when I had a Jaguar, that was kind of the only game I'd actually go back and play. The vast majority I didn't. I don't care for that system too much. I may pick it up again later on in life, but right now, no. 4000 though. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's kind of one of those wacky arcade shooter things, and yeah, I've played better. Banner Saga. I played the first one, years ago, I think on Steam, back when I had a PC that I actually used for gaming, as opposed to nothing for gaming. Banner Saga's fine. I like the first one. I played a bit of the second one. The second one's not really my cup of tea, to be honest with you. It's okay, but it's not really high up there. 3, again, I haven't played. It's fine. One of these days I will sit down and just play through all of this, because the setting's really cool. But, yeah. Mad Max. Haven't played this either. I've heard good things. Here we go. Dreamful Chapters. Yeah, the kind of third conclusive story in the Longest Journey saga. I think it's the last one. It might be the last one. Yeah, released episodically for a while. Meant to pick it up on Wii U, because they announced it for that, but obviously that didn't happen. Yeah, they released it physically. I played Dreamfall The Longest Journey on the original Xbox, and really liked it. So I'm curious to see if this is actually any good, or if it's shit. There's a good chance it's shit, but we'll see. Carmageddon. Yeah, it's fine. I've played better Carmageddon games, quite frankly. They're called Twisted Metal. Yes. Strange Brigade. Yeah, kind of a Left 4 Dead style shooter at a time where Left 4 Dead style shooters were dying out horribly. And yeah, they're not amazing. It's not great. Okay. Some interesting ones, but I'll, knock out these 4 quickly. Concrete Genie. Yeah, I heard the developer went under recently, which sucks. Very cool little game. PSVR compatible, but yeah. Very, very intrigued to actually get around to playing that. There's a lot of games in this collection just flat I haven't played. Or haven't played in a while, like We're Happy Few. Yeah, We Happy Few is a good story mired by shit game. Shit design. And a big part of that shit design is a running trend with compulsion games. I have an issue with you bastards, and it's called contrast shit gameplay. I'm going to be honest with you. We Happy Few was good. It's just, I think it's kind of that era where it's... Yeah, I don't think it's aged particularly well, to be honest. I wouldn't play it again. I just wouldn't. My wife played through it recently. I'm surprised she hasn't played the DLC, but here we are. Rage 2. Yeah, the first Rage was crap, and then they went, oh, let's make it Borderlands. And no. No. Just no. Not my cup of tea. Killzone Shadowfall. Yeah, it's okay, actually. I'm not a huge Killzone fan in general. I didn't grow up with a PS4. Well, I did grow up with the PS3, but I didn't play it, just because it was shit. Starlink Battle for Atlas was £5. Yeah, I couldn't say no to buying that. I've got it, actually. I've got it again on here. I've got 2 copies of it, but I wanted a boxed version just because. Day of the Tentacle. So, I've got Grim Fandango on the Switch, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, I get quite frustrated with, in particular, Full Throttle and Day of the Tentacle 90s point-and-click action games. Whew! They're annoying. Very. Trying to figure out the puzzles is almost borderline impossible without a guide. So, quite frankly, I'm going to go back and play Grim Fandango, and I'm going to play these 2, but I'm using a fucking guide to do it. I'm not playing it like you would have back in day. Now, this is a game with a history for me. A big, hefty history. So, about nearly 10 years ago, 8 years ago, about 8 years ago, I picked up Metal Wolf Chaos on the original Xbox. Unfortunately, a disc rot, so I had to send it back, and I asked the guy, I said, look, I spent 90 quid on Metal Wolf Chaos, and it doesn't work. And he was like, oh, okay, what do you want? Is there anything you saw that you want? And I went, yeah, I want the Virtual-On twin sticks for the Sega Saturn. He sent it over, and it's awesome. I've used it once. I've used it once. By contrast, I have actually played this. This is FromSoft. Yeah, FromSoft used to make more than just fucking Dark Souls. They made weird shit where you play as the American president in the middle of the Second American Civil War, driving a mech. Even came with this little presidential pouch, which, you know, I have no idea what is actually in it. Oh, it's just like some postcards. Yeah. Oh no, they're stickers. And my fellow Americans, good morning. Yeah, weird. Weird little pack. Came with it. Oh yeah, and a big old leather seal. Of the President of the United States of America. In Japanese. Because, of course, Japanese only game. Fully voiced in English. And it is bloody hilarious. It is fucking funny. And it's really hard and I can't get that far through it. But, you know, whatever. Great game. Pick it up. Saga. Right. Okay. Here's one. I'm a huge fan of Eric Chahi. If you don't know who that is. Eric Chahi developed the game Another World. Which was one of the... Which kind of started, or at least really showcased the trend of cinematic platformers. So cinematic platformers are considerably slower in terms of their kind of platforming action. It's not like you're going a million miles a minute. You slowly make your way through a level, climbing, jumping, blah, blah, blah. Another World was ahead of its time in 1,000 different ways. From having an opening cutscene that, quite frankly, still looks good. Like, the whole thing is seamless. It's nuts. And he's come back. He seems to come back like once a decade and make a decent game. And about 14 years ago, he made From Dust, which really emphasized gameplay with a kind of a terrain deformation sort of thing. Then he came back and he made Paper Beast. Now, I haven't played this yet. I will. But Paper Beast is a whole other sort of deal. It's out there in terms of its design. The whole world is made of paper. All the animals are made of paper. They all interact with each other. There's like a full-blown ecosystem. The game is maybe an hour long if you play like the adventure, but it's got an open world sandbox mode. Well, it's got a sandbox mode where you can just kind of play God, and it's awesome. It's like a spiritual successor to From Dust, and I loved From Dust. I genuinely did, so I'm really excited to play this, and I will play it. Okay, we're in the final stack and a half. Oh, this is going to be a long video. Psychonauts 2. Yeah, you probably heard my thoughts on this last week with games I've been playing recently. I don't like it as much as the first one, but I like it. It's got very solid emotional storytelling. Its gameplay is a lot of fun. I kind of hate how they've nerfed one of the aspects of the jumping from the first one, but I know that's just personal preference. To the point where I wanted Psychonauts 2 physically really badly, I bought the Rhombus of Ruin, which is, yeah, pretty wacky. Haven't played that. It's a VR version. It's okay. It's not great, which is fine. Okay. I'm just going to kind of speedrun the next batch because they're just kind of strategy games. The 8-bit series. They're doing a new one called 9-bit Armies, which I guess is a sequel to this. I'm hoping they do 9-bit Hordes and 9-bit Invaders. And they're just very solid. Very solid, very simple RPGs. They're okay. I don't know if I could fully recommend them to anybody, but yeah, they're fine. Dungeons 1 and Dungeons 2. Yeah, very solid Dungeon Keeper clones. Probably best to play both. They both bring something very different to the table that I think is missing from other playthings. You know what? I'm going to move this fat stack of games over here, and we're just going to kind of keep ploughing through. Worlds of Magic. Kind of a 4X game, and it's shit. That's all I really have to say about it. It's not great. In comparison, Spellforce 3 Reforged. Yeah, solid RTS. Very solid. Also kind of combined with an RPG. I don't really have too much to say on it. I just kind of play skirmish, to be honest. Evil Genius 2. Yes, so the original Evil Genius was released nearly 20 years ago. And they made a fucking sequel, sort of. It's more just like an enhanced remake, but it's very, very, very good. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's like if Dungeon Keeper 2 had a modern day remake, and you know what? Yeah, we talked about Mass Effect. Mass Effect Andromeda, I like. Mass Effect 3 is still better. Moving on. Haha. Stubbs the Zombie. I love Stubbs the Zombie. I love Stubbs the Zombie to death. Haha. This is my third favourite game of all time, for crying out loud. Of course I like it. It's a very, 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 very solid game, and I hope we get a sequel. I don't think we will, but we'll see. The Bioshock Collection. Yeah, I quite like the Bioshock Collection. It's good. It's good. I haven't played it in a while. I typically just go in and I'm like, I could play 1 again. I could play 2 again. Or I could just go and play Infinite for the 50th time in 10 years. And that's unfortunately what I've done multiple times. Fallout 4. I haven't really played Fallout 3. And you know what? I hated New Vegas' gameplay. I really, really did. I still think New Vegas has the best story, even over this one. But this one's shooting is very good. It's very good. Yeah. Play Fallout 4. Good game. Very good game. Duke Nukem 3D. Yeah. Friend of mine bought me this 2 or 3 years ago for my birthday. I love this game. I'm terrible at it, but I'm a big fan of the Duke. I am a big fan of the Duke. Go watch my Duke Nukem video. It's out there. It's out there, friends. Titanfall 2. Probably the single best first-person shooter campaign I've played in about 10 years. And I'm not kidding. It's so much fun. You know, it's just so much fun. You and your giant mech friend going around beating up assholes. All I need in life. All I need. Awesome Knots. Yeah, I originally played this, 14 years ago. Not this version. It was released on Xbox 360 Online, Xbox 360 Arcade, and yeah, I figured I'd pick this up just because, you know what, I like collecting physical releases of games from that era, if you know what I mean. Okay, here's 3. I haven't really talked about these games, but I fucking love them. The Dishonored trilogy. Yeah, I played Dishonored 1 on the Xbox 360. It's really good. I played Dishonored 2. It's pretty good. I played The Outsider. It's not as good, but it's still very solid. These are 3 very solid immersive sims, which are kind of like immersive gameplay. It's more of a design philosophy than it is a genre. Yeah, okay. Shadow of War. Shadow of Mordor. I haven't played this, to be honest with you, because I always end up going back to the Shadow of War Definitive Collection. It's just basically Shadow of Mordor, but way better. Like, way better. All the DLC, all the playable characters. I've finished this game like 4 times now. Great. Very good. Okay. Metro Redux and Metro Exodus. I love the first 2 Metro games. I love them to death. I think they are freaking amazing. They're just really immersive single-player, linear kind of first-person shooters, and then they went and made Rush and Fallout. And you know what? It's crap. I didn't like Exodus as much. I think its story is terrible. I think the revelations about some of the characters in the world is just bad. I don't care for it. It's not that good. It just unfortunately isn't. Yeah. Well, I talked about Starlink Battle for Atlas, so I won't show you the fact that I've got it again. You know that. That's fine. The final 3 games. These are all fucking expensive. These are all very fucking expensive, and they're all walking simulators. I like walking simulators. Starting with Dear Esther. Dear Esther's kind of the video game equivalent of a poem. And I know, back in the day, Total Biscuit, who did, WTF is, he did a video on Dear Esther, and he was like, oh, it's not a game. And I'm like, it is a game. It is a game. It's just an artistic one that, you know, it's about walking in a straight line, effectively, looking at things, experiencing a story that way. Other games came along and redefined that as a genre. Walking simulators won out in the, oh, is it a game? Debate. I mean, we got Edith Finch, which was like £200 last year. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It says Lovecraftian tale set. It's not Lovecraftian. It couldn't be further from Lovecraftian if it bloody tried. There's no tentacles. There's no existential horror. It's just it's a series of short stories about a family and the horrible shit that happened to them. And it's sad. But not every game has to be fun. They just have to be entertaining. Final game, Firewatch. Yeah, I love Firewatch. I got it over Christmas. My wife got it for me, and it's so bloody good. It's so bloody good. I fell in love with that game all over again. It's kind of a game you play once, but you know what? I've played it multiple times and it still has the same impact. So yeah, that is my fat stack of PlayStation 4 games. Lots of PS4 games. A lot of ones I just flat out haven't played. Or don't really have a lot to say about, to be honest with you. Mostly the strategy games. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get this one done. Show you what I have in my collection. And you know what? I hope you enjoyed it. So, yeah, remember, like, comment, and subscribe to be in a chance of winning Demon Throttle on the Switch. I'll be sending that out wherever. I'll probably be announcing the winner next week. We will see. But, yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's me signing off. I hope you have a nice weekend, and I will see you next time.